Primary search and rescue is an essential fireground task. This is especially true in residential fires, as more than 80% of all civilian fire deaths each year occur in residential structures. Search and rescue is as basic to firefighting as stretching and advancing attack hand lines to extinguish fire. A good, aggressive fire department not only gets water on the fire in a timely manner, but seeks to locate and remove victims from the smoke and gas-filled atmosphere as quickly as possible. Achieving this objective, however, oftentimes places searching firefighters at risk, particularly when the search is conducted immediately above or directly behind the fire, and without the benefit of a protective hand line.
Since life safety is our first priority, we must conduct a primary search when conditions permit. These videos will give you important information to help you accomplish this mission in private dwellings and multifamily occupancies. They will help you plan your searches, coordinate them within the context of overall fireground operations and changing fireground conditions, and execute them at a reasonable level of risk. Since single-family dwellings are our most common fire problem, our bread and butter, we will focus on them. Keep in mind, though, that many of the principles and practices in these videos are applicable to performing searches in other residential dwellings.
For search and rescue operations to be effective and reasonably safe, they must be conducted with an ongoing risk-benefit analysis that answers 4 important questions. 1. What is the risk to civilian lives? 2. What are the realistic chances of saving a life? 3. What is the risk to firefighters performing search and rescue? And 4. Do I have sufficient personnel on the scene to rescue civilians and rescue firefighters if they should get into trouble? The first 3 questions can be answered by thorough size-up. What type of structure is involved? What is the time of day? Where is the fire? What is its size, or what stage is it in? How does fire location impact the areas most likely to contain potential victims? What information can be gained from occupants who have already exited or from neighbors? Answers to these and other questions will enable you to ascertain the risks to occupants and firefighters. Firefighters' safety and civilian lives depend on how well a search is planned and implemented. Firefighters searching a house or any building must develop a plan before they enter the structure. Part of this planning is to be familiar with the layouts of typical homes in your community, specifically the location of bedrooms, points of access egress, and stairway configurations. Knowing a house's size, age, and layout will help you develop an effective search plan. A view of the outside of a house can give you an idea of how it is laid out on the inside. This can help you locate the most critical areas, the bedrooms. With some notable exceptions, bedrooms tend to be grouped together. They are typically at the opposite end of the house from the kitchen, utility room, and garage, or on the second floor, reached by a hallway off the living room, or a stairway at or near the front door. A size-up prior to engaging in search operations is vitally important, because no single search plan will work for every fire, every house, or every department. For sizing up private dwellings, the first arriving engine company can get a head start by spotting the apparatus slightly past the house. This will afford a view of 3 sides of the structure and adjoining exposures before members even leave the cab. But a quick view from the street won't necessarily get you all the information you need. How and where to search a house depend on many factors that are most accurately observed by taking a quick walk around the structure. The size and depth of a house, which can be deceiving if viewed only from the front. The presence of additions, one or more efficiencies or single-room occupancies built on to the original house. Most cannot be reached by firefighters advancing through the front door. More than one electric meter or mailbox, indicating a house has been divided into separate living units. A window air conditioner in a garage or attic, a clue that it has been converted into a bedroom and thus warrants a higher priority for search. The locations of doors and windows. They can serve as alternate points of entry or egress. Also note security bars that can trap occupants and firefighters. A difference in elevation at the rear of the house. The first floor of this house, built on the side of a hill, is actually the second floor. The location of the fire, which is often not apparent from the street. Heavy fire in one end of a house is a strong indication that occupants in the fire area are not savable, and that searchers should concentrate their efforts on the portion that is not burning. Examine the windows. Hot glass stained with soot can indicate the location of the fire and where to vent for the advancing hand line. Fire conditions, the fire's stage and extent. These are critical considerations for a company operating without the protection of a hand line or an understaffed company that must choose between extending a search or fighting the fire. The presence of trapped occupants or victims who already have escaped. They can be easily overlooked if no one takes the time to view all sides of the house. The officer and his crew must look for indications that occupants are trapped and some clues to their location. Visual. Cars parked in the driveway are no guarantee that occupants are home, but they are a strong indication that usually warrants an aggressive search. Verbal.
You got somebody in this house, Tony.
A family member who frantically tells you that a child is trapped and points to a bedroom window provides a clear indication of where to search. Information from neighbors and bystanders is also useful, but may not be accurate.
You're the only one in there?
I live over here.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody in there that you know?
No, not that I know.
Okay.
I was banging on the window, nobody came out.
Treat such information with cautious skepticism. Time. Most fire fatalities in residences occur between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. A significant number of these victims succumb to smoke and fire gases where they are sleeping. A fire in the early morning hours is a strong indication to search the bedrooms as soon as possible. However, bedrooms should be a high search priority at any time of day. When fire prevents or delays search teams, consider an alternate route. Access the bedrooms directly from the windows. Human behavior is also another important consideration in your search plan. People are creatures of habit. Adults, if physically able, tend to escape from fire by means they normally use to exit their home: stairways, hallways, doorways. Search these routes for victims whose egress is blocked by fire, burglar door gates, or double deadbolt locks. In many areas, occupants must use a key to unlock as many as 4 double deadbolts before exiting. This is why it is so important to check the area behind and around doors. Windows become a secondary means of exit, but can trap occupants behind security bars or heavy casement windows. Probe the area directly below windows for victims.